I trained for a marathon, ran a marathon, great. Then I started running half marathons on the weekend. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and this is what I looked like 6 years ago. And this is what I look like now. And what is the one big thing that changed? You already know, you saw it in the title. I used to run, and then I stopped. And I mean, I used to run a lot. I thought that low intensity, steady state cardio was fitness. Fitness was boring cardio that you had to force yourself to do. They are one and the same. And I'm making this video because I see a lot of other people have the same misconception. I really wish someone had made this video 10 years ago for me when I was sabotaging my fitness. I had no idea. Now this isn't to say that if you are a runner and you like it, that you should stop immediately. There's a whole lot more to what I'm getting at, so let me take you on the journey of my whole fitness story. I started fitnessing in college because I was a competitive dancer before that. I didn't have that activity anymore, so I needed to do something, and that something for a college woman is the elliptical. And I would line up with all my college women friends and elliptical for as long as I could to burn calories. And this is the common mindset that I was getting at earlier. You just gotta do this boring thing for as long as you can stand it to lose as much weight as you can. But it didn't work. And I was like, well, I must not be miserable enough. That's it. It's not that hard to do the elliptical. I'm not forcing myself that badly. I can still watch TV, so I should be running. That sounds like it sucks. So I started running, and it did suck. My goodness. And I would do 2 miles a day of the suck. But that was fitness. I was miserable, so it was working, except it wasn't working anymore. My body adapted. It was like, oh, 2 miles a day, that's what we do now? Okay, I'm not gonna change. So I didn't see results. And you've heard me say this on this channel. If you're not seeing results, try something else. But because my mindset was sucky steady state cardio is fitness, the only way I could try something else was to do more. That was my only option. So I ran 3 miles a day. Haha, and then my body adapted and it didn't work. Great, now 3 miles a day is my baseline. And so if it's not working, try something else. Okay, do more. By the time I got out of college, I was doing 6 miles a day, and that was my baseline. That's like brushing your teeth. If you don't brush your teeth, you're like, oh man, I did not brush my teeth, crap. But if you do brush your teeth, you're not like, woohoo, look at me and my teeth brushing accomplishment. So 6 miles was my baseline, and you know where this is going. It didn't work, so I had to do more. And at this point, I looked like my before picture. I wanna say I was skinny fat. I don't like using that as a derogatory term, but I'm trying to give you an idea of the fact that my body was just hanging on and not adapting, not changing, not listening to me at all because I just kept piling on miles that were not effective. And now I did know that HIIT existed, high intensity interval training, but because you work and then take a break and then work and then take a break, I felt like that wasn't that miserable. You didn't have to force yourself to do it because you could stop in the middle. So clearly that wasn't fitness. Anyway, where are we? 6 miles? I trained for a marathon, ran a marathon, great. Then I started running half marathons on the weekend. I would do my 6 miles baseline during the week, and then on the weekend, 13.1 miles. I invented this thing where I did 13 milers in 13 weeks, except well, it wasn't enough, so I did 14 weeks. Meanwhile, I'm still not seeing results, and I'm blaming myself because I'm changing and nothing's happening, but I wasn't really changing because cardio is not be all and end all of fitness. Did you realize that's what I'm getting at? So how did I get out of my steady state cardio? By accident. I moved to LA and I was like, maybe since I'm in the big city now, I'll take a self-defense class. And I went to a self-defense class, and turns out I got the time wrong, and it was a Muay Thai boxing class, and then I fell in love with this accident, so now I'm a Thai boxer, I guess. Which kickboxing is secret high-intensity interval training. It's just rounds where you work, and then you take a break, and then you work, and this is my first after photo. Wow, my body responded. What? I looked awesome, and I felt awesome, and I would like to mention that high-intensity interval training is also not the be-all and end-all of fitness, because you probably know that I got into lifting. And how did I get into lifting? By accident. The kickboxing gym I was going to got acquired by another gym, and they happened to also have CrossFit. And so my membership already came with this weird thing, and I was like, maybe I'll try it out, and then I fell in love and started doing CrossFit a whole ton and saying CrossFit a lot, CrossFit, and my body responded even more. Look at this next transformation picture. I was doing functional weightlifting, and so my body added muscle, which means it was burning more than just the amount of time that I was spending on the elliptical. Ugh. I sped up my metabolism. My body didn't just get used to what I was doing, the same amount of running, the same way every day. And so I actually saw results, and for a while I got into bodybuilding. Let's look at that transformation. Sweet, even more muscle, even more metabolism. Let's talk about how I got into that by accident. My one friend picked me up at a bar in a giant bear hug and broke 2 of my ribs. Well, it's like a little crack. A crack enough that I should not be doing CrossFit. Absurd that this came from a bar and not something epic fitness. Anyway, I could only stand and do curls and isolated bodybuilding movements, so I did that, and it was awesome, and my body responded and I liked it. And at this point I want to go back to that mindset of all those girls on the elliptical looking at me saying I do bodybuilding and thinking, yeah, I don't want to get bulky, which I also had that mindset. Although I've shifted now, changed my mindset, I'm actually trying to get bulky. And in fact, I cannot. You have to eat and train a whole lot in a very specific way as a woman to get bulky. It's not like you're gonna step into a CrossFit gym and then suddenly look like Claire Wiley. You pick up a dumbbell more than 5 pounds, you turn into the Hulk. No, you're not going to get bulky. You don't even need to change your mindset like I did and decide that you want to get bulky, because even if you really tried, you probably wouldn't. And if you're sitting there being like, wait a minute, you are bulky, it's not true. I'm just very good at Instagram. The #1 thing that my pallies say to me if I ever meet them in person is, wow, you are smaller than I expected. So stop running and start doing some weight-bearing exercise. Whether it's functional CrossFit or bodybuilding. I've actually done a season of powerlifting. I'm right now working on some Olympic lifting. What do all those things have in common? It's actually 2 things. 1, they work, and 2, I don't have to force myself to do them. They're fun and awesome. Now, like I opened this video, if you like running and you think it's fun and awesome, then keep doing that. Please don't. Why did you even click on this video? Oh, right, because you thought I might have some insights. Well, if you aren't seeing results when you're running, then do some weight-bearing exercise with it, or try high-intensity running, right? Do some sprint intervals. If it isn't working, change it, but don't change it in just a way that's adding more so that your body adapts and doesn't respond. And if you are running and hating it and seeing no results, stop! Fitness doesn't have to suck. Just because you're not forcing yourself doesn't mean that it won't work. And there are other options besides what I mentioned in this video. The point is that you could probably benefit from rethinking your definition of fitness. So find the fun, and the abs will find you. And I make a 1-year transformation video every year. We're on the 6th one, and last year's was also a gem, so I'll put that down there for you. Hey Best Pally, I'm Allie, and this is what I look like now. Okay, well, this is what I look like 5 years ago. Okay, get a good look. Now, this is what I look like now in the same spot. Ooh, okay, that's a big change, right?